Hello everyone, Malphite here, and today I wanted to talk a bit about Jankos. Such a great Western jungle goat, such a renowned name, and probably after Caps and maybe Reckless, the biggest star player in the Western League of Legends, or at least in the LEC, right? He's been there for so many years, and now is not yet confirmed to have a team. We had a similar situation before when he was jailed in G2 and then only could come to Heretics. But right now, as we can see on the transfers, on the Sheep Esports/transfers website, there are only 3 spots for jungle confirmed. And as far as I heard, all these teams actually might be considering Jankos. So there's a high chance we might see Jankos playing next year. However, he has done I think a podcast with Yamato Cannon and I Will Dominate, stating that he cares a lot more about a roster than about money, and that he actually wants to play on a good team and be competitive. And his streaming and his brand already probably makes him enough money, but he will, for the first time in his career, be, I think in less than a month, be a free agent. So there's not even a need for a buyout. Just if there will be a verbal agreement, the organization, the team can just wait a bit and then buy out, not buy out, then just get the player, right? And then make a contract. And Jankos stated many times that he does not care about money that much as he cares about a great roster. So it all boils down to, what does Jankos think is a great roster, and also how much these teams value Jankos. So for example, K-Corp, we have Kana confirmed, definitely a good top laner. We have Vladi, which is a rookie mid lane, but could be competitive. Probably not top 3, probably not top 5, to be honest, with confirmed Jojo Pune, Caps, Humanoid. We still have Larson, maybe on the new rogue he's going to show something. We have Jackies, a very big prospect. We have Nuke, not to be slept on. So very many prospects. So I do not know about Vladi even being in the top 5. But we have Kalist coming for KC, and we have Targamas. I do not know if, I think in 2022 G2 it was, or 2022 I think G2. Then Jankos had some big fight with Targamas towards the end, which also I think caused Jankos to then leave G2. So I don't know how Targamas and Jankos feel about that, but still Jankos is a really great player and he's being considered by KC. So unless maybe Yike is a bigger priority, so unless maybe Yike wants to join KC, we might see Jankos in KC. However, I think a better mid laner than Vladi are both Jackies and Larson, and so depending on how these teams shape up, I'm not going to talk about Rogue because Rogue is not yet allowed to create rosters, as I think Nigma Galaxy wants to buy out Rogue, and while this deal is in talks, in the meantime Rogue is not even a part of the offseason. So they locked their first player, and that's Larson, but for now they cannot do any moves. So I'm only going to talk about GiantX for now. And so GiantX has Jackies locked, but there are some interesting players on the market. We have Mickey X, we have potentially Trimby for support. There's Upset in the AD carry position. There's Yike, there's Jankos, right? There's Wunder Photon for the top lane, and I don't know if I'm not missing anyone, but very interesting names. So let's just brainstorm a bit and let's think. We could have Photon in the top lane, we could have Jankos, Jackies, Upset, Mickey. Now that's a contender roster. That's a roster that, if it goes well for this roster, with let's say G2 being a bit downgraded because now they have 2 new rookies and they need to teach them everything that the roster of the past 2 years in G2 knew everything. And if other teams make roster change as well, like this team can win LEC in winter. It's just 3 weeks of best of ones and then some best of threes, and anything can happen. And so such a roster could definitely win. And that's what Jankos stated, that is exactly what he wants, and he wants a good roster. And so there are still places to make really good rosters with really good players in LEC, and that's also something that I'm very, very happy about and very interested in, because it seems that this year LEC might actually get better. I heard people saying, I'm not sure if it was LS or also some other haters, stating that this year LEC is going to get weaker, and that that might seem like the case, seeing all the big names disappearing, seeing Perks not having a team next year, seeing Bo not being able to find a team, and who knows, maybe Wonder won't be able to play, and seeing that and seeing so many rookies coming into the season, it must feel like, I guess LEC is getting weaker. But then actually looking at the teams that we had this year and looking at the newer teams, it's like, well, G2 got a lot weaker, but overall I think the teams are going to get a lot stronger, and that's something that I'm going to talk about in more detail in later videos. But for now, I just wanted to say it's very exciting. I would like to see Jankos on both GiantX and KC, but for me personally, I think Jankos playing with Jackies would be the best combo. Because when I think about it, for me, Jackies is like something like a baby Caps, just how Caps was kind of like a baby Faker. Jackies is like a baby Caps. It's like pretty mechanically talented player, but I don't think he knows exactly quite how to be that great yet. There was a bit of a drama, he's also been criticized by Bwipo, but then we have other people talking different stuff, and depends whose camp you're in and whatnot, and what you believe in. But I think overall Jackie's a very strong, good player, mechanically talented, and plays very well when resources are being funneled into him. And on the other hand, Jankos is really good at facilitating their players and has always been kind of considered this support jungle, and his team famously used to call him, especially like Perks, used to call him his dog, right? So Jankos is really good in that role of a dog jungler, and I think Jackies is exactly someone who would really, really thrive with a seasoned veteran facilitating dog jungler like Jankos by his side, and Jankos could really, really make Jackies into a strong player. And so Jankos said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to be in a really strong roster. And for the last year or two of his career, being on the GiantX roster with Jackies, bring in Mickey, bring in strong AD and top lane, like a weak side player into the top lane, because now you already have a carry in middle. Just bring a carry into the bot lane and let Jankos facilitate, get weak side top, get a Photon playing your Gnar, your Ornn, or you get Wunder. He's even better at weak siding, and you're good. You're settled, right? This is a team that makes it to the Worlds. This is a team that will be really competitive in Europe. So I just really want to see this happen. I think GiantX finally can break the curse. They've been really, really looking like they can be competitive even with a really, what I consider pretty bad players in D'Antonio, in Juhan, in Ignar, not having a good showing in Europe at all, right? So I think keep your star player, build around him, build a great team. Now is your opportunity. You have power hungry. You have really hungry players that want to win. Get them and do great and boost Europe. And I'm really, really hopeful for next year. But now I'm rambling already for a very long time. So just let me know what you think about this change. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.